welcome to the Stover Farm Channel. I'm so glad to have you here with us on the continuation of Farm the Entire Map here in Meadowlands, Wisconsin. If you're new to the channel, we are farming the entire map, so welcome. This is Meadowlands, and it's actually no man's land that I have made into a one-farm map with close to 1,000 acres of arable and pasture land for this farm. And we're farming the entire thing in real time with 7-day months. Long story short, we're trying to make this realistic and fun and changing the way you play Farm Sim. Gas is expensive. Diesel is expensive. I've got everything set to hard. The goal being I want to add as much realism into this game as possible. And I think it's actually working out pretty well. At the end of the last episode, we did the finances. We paid all the bills for November. Here's what the account's looking like right now. Doing fairly well. 663,000 in the main farm account, and we're almost to the end of the year. We haven't sold any crops. We're still harvesting. We'll run over here to the dryer real fast. Every last kernel of corn that we pulled off the fields, I am putting into the dryer because it's pretty wet. We want to get it dried down. I've got a little over 85,000 liters left to get dried, and it's working through it. We've got 2 more fields of corn to actually harvest. Let's take a look at the map, and you'll see we're saving. I always recommend you save the game. Last episode, I said that, I hit save, and the game crashed. So do not forget to save your game. Let's take a look at these fields. We've got, in no man's land, you don't have numbered fields. You have numbered sections where you buy and then you can farm. So I've bought the entire map, but then I've had to make my own fields. So I can't really point out a field number, but you can see this field here is corn. And this field here is corn, and they are ready to harvest. You can see that right there in orange. The field to the right, that was wheat, and then you can see there's some plowed land as that field was expanded all the way around to the right of the map down to our 80-acre field here. These are big fields. We've got a bunch of pasture land in here. Really, the entire map is ours. We don't have crazy amounts of productions. In fact, we have very few productions. You could count the corn dryer as production, but I don't. I just consider that something on the farm. You can see the big blue harvester off in the distance there. That is making silage, so that's, I guess, technically a production. But what we don't have like a sawmill. We don't have a dairy. We're not making cakes. We're not making cereal. We're not making furniture. We are farming cash crop and animals. So the cows are out in their pastures. We've got close to 600, 700 head of cattle split between dairy and beef cattle. Got some down in that monoslope. Dairy is down there. The beef cattle's out in the pasture. And I've got about 200 head of cattle up here in this small dairy barn as well. Fortunately for today, Meg's already been out. She's taking care of morning chores with the animals. We've got to finish up with corn, and I want to get the equipment down over, I should say, to those final 2 cornfields. And we're using the 9250. At the very end of the last episode, we talked about how I had the Reaper, and that was a demo from John Deere. How am I going to get down there. I actually haven't thought this through very well, have I? I know what we'll do. We'll go around through the silage field, and we'll get this down to those far cornfields. You're also going to see a little bit of a change that I have made, and I promise you, I've been very careful not to just constantly add stuff to the farm. The goal is to add realism. So out here, this was our main silage field. We're in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is very big in contour farming. Contour farming is a philosophy, an approach that you contour with the contour of the land, hence contour farming. It helps with soil erosion, it helps with crops, it really is healthy for the fields. So I've got some contours built in here. This was just silage corn, now it's meadowgrass, and then we'll plant the silage corn in the arable area. I've also got a field, let me hop out here real quick, way up there underneath the balloon. Again, this is no man's land, and that's the balloon that just floats around during no man's land. The field underneath it is a very large field with a decent elevation change and a fairly open area that gets hit by wind, gets a lot of erosion. We're putting tile in over there. So trying to be as realistic as possible and make additions to the map and to the game as I learn about them, or as I think about them, or as new mods come out, just again to focus on some form of realism. I digress, though. We were talking about combines and what my plan was. So we had the Reaper. It was on loan from John Deere. It was a very nice piece of equipment. It had a very big head on the front of it. But it was so unrealistic. And I mentioned I've been going back and forth on realism versus efficiency. And this is just me playing the game. So I don't have anyone helping. So literally, okay, I've stopped here. I'll get out of this combine. I've got to take advantage of some of the game functionality. I could run all the way back to get the header trailer. I'm just going to use the not the morph, but the teleportation ability in the game, and I'm going to jump back to the main shop. I think that's fair. Just to save you all, pulling your hair out. But where I question it is in, capacities and speeds. So, the game has some great options for, say, a combine that runs 30 miles per hour. That's awesome. A header that is, can take a cornfield out in 2 passes. And I just don't want that. So I had the Reaper. And I actually have Colossus in the barn right there, the heated shop. I'm going to sell that. I've got the 9250. It's got a very big hopper on it. I'm going to focus on, let's just say, maybe extended realism. So I've got a few trailers that have some pretty outrageous capacities, but I don't want to farm these fields at 30 miles an hour. And what I'll do is I will just play the game, and if you get bored by it, go down in the description, you'll see chapter markers. You can just jump around to various chapters, see what you want to watch. But I'm going to play the game, because I think that sometimes is overlooked. We think of scenarios we have to go through. We've got to have, challenges and productions and jumping. And I'm guilty of this as well. I did it all the time. I'm just going to play the game, slow it down. I was getting bored by the game, and I think I realized I was getting bored from the game because I was trying to do too much in the game. I had way too many productions. I had multiple farms on a map. Or I had, one field and a farm with $35 million worth of equipment. That's not realistic. So I'm slowing down, and the game has just become so much more enjoyable. Now, the fact that I have a header on a trailer is like a miracle. I hate header trailers, mainly because I cannot drive them worth a damn. This is a Nardi. It was a mod, all platform. That's the other thing I really do try very hard to run all platform mods if I can. I know this RAM, this is the Elk Mountain RAM. It's not all platforms, but it's really one of the better RAMs that's out there. So I try and run all platform mods. But I've got this trailer because it doesn't have that annoying front wheel. I cannot back up for the life of me trailers that have like multiple axles with a turn axle on the front. It doesn't work for me. So this being the fact that it can actually handle this. What is this? This is our... So what I originally had for the 9250 was a 4418. And again, in the past, I had, like for the Colossus, I had this massive header on it. For the Reaper, I had that. I'm giving the Reaper back. I'm going to sell Colossus. We're going to run this 9250 for right now. But, you know, woe is me. I got to run a 9250. But this is a far more realistic machine for out here. So let's get this hooked up. And I'm going to start cutting this cornfield right out here. Again, we've got 2 left to finish. You might wonder, like, what is that pond over here? Well, again, for realism, I've got tillage. We've got the contour farming. The goal with tillage and or contour farming is you run the runoff of the rain into a pond or a creek or a river or something by your farm. Hopefully, you would capture that water and then be able to use it for your animals or for, I don't know, other non-potable water supplies. So you capture it. So I just put a little pond in. I've not connected this header to this combine on this trailer yet. But it does appear that it is at the right angle, or right plane. So we'll connect. And I am running a mod that I highly recommend if you have the ability to run it, and that is the Manual Connect mod. I love it. So you've got to actually come in here and manually connect, like your PTO. So there's the PTO. Now we've got to connect the electrical connections. Actually, that might already be connected with this header. Some headers you've got to also connect the, I think that's it right there, like the hydraulics and everything, and the electronics. So PTO is connected. Now let's pull the truck out of the way. And for this, I am probably going to just run the cart. I've got a Brent cart on a 9 Series that we'll bring down here. I would not want to bring the semis off-road like this. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. This the drive paths that we have are kind of a combination of paintable mud and actual like areable ground. They did that because with the real mud mod, when it rains, these paths become absolute mud pits, and you will get your equipment stuck. So bringing a semi-truck down here would not be advisable. So here we go, step 1 for the day. It's 9:15 a.m. on November 3rd. Beautiful fall day. We've got 2 more fields to cut. This will be the start of harvesting these final 2 fields, and then we'll see what else we need to do for the day. First, though, I am going to save. Highly recommend you always save, and away we go. Major stuttering right there. I don't know what that was all about. This game is frustrating in that regard. I feel like there are times where I'll be playing and I have absolutely no issues, and then other times where like it will just stutter like crazy. I'm running on a fairly beefy Mac Studio. I am a Mac player, and that is arguably wrong. I get it. PC players will say, well, it should be on a PC. I get it. It's what I have. It's kind of like if you're a console player, which that's where I started. I had an Xbox. It's where I started. You play with what you've got. But there are some days where I just feel like the game runs so well, and others where it does not. If I come out just a little bit, I've tried everything. My settings are fairly optimal for the computer. I usually get a very solid, like 70 or 80 frames per second. I've unlocked the frame rate from 60. But every now and again, just, I don't know if it's a shader or what, get those little stutters. I do think, so I forgot, this header is limited to 6 miles an hour. I did like, which is realistic, I liked a little bit of that extra speed, so I am going to probably turn on the real speed limit mod. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set, I'm not going to run 30 through here. This is where I say I'm going to run like realistic extended. So I'm going to set my cruise control, and I've got that on. We're going to run 10. A little fast for corn, a little fast to harvest anything really, but probably better than running 4 or 5 or 6 miles an hour through this field, and this recording would be hours long. Let's check our yield monitor. So I've got Thundar's yield monitor installed, as well as his unit conversion. Thundar is really just a spectacular modder that focuses on realism and data. He's got mods that are really focused on converting metric to US, giving you monitors to view data, and that's what I've got. So we're at like 200 book. This is the best corn we've had on this farm. I'm seeing 217 bushels an acre. I've got the HUD slightly smaller on my screen, but it's down in the lower right-hand corner. Oh, I'm an idiot. We're doing 170 an acre. I'm an idiot. This is live to tape. This is what happens, right? We're doing 170 bushels per acre. Still far better than I've ever had on this farm. That was the tank in the back. It's filling up. But right below that, it's showing 170 acres. And then if I toggle my, let's see here, I can toggle this. There's a functionality, it's like shift, there we go. So I just changed again, the lower right hand corner of my screen, right where the cruise control is, you can see 1.8 acres. That's showing how much we've actually harvested of this field. So we're almost 2 acres in. We've got a 50% full hopper in the back. We're doing good. This is good. Things are running really, really well. The corn is good. Again, still decent amount of, sorry, I lost that, 170 bushels per acre. If this was drier and I didn't have to run it through the dryer, that'd be pretty awesome. And if any real farmers are out there, and I'm not saying that jokingly, I guess I'm making fun of myself because I'm a farm simmer. So real farmers that are out there, what do you think about when you're in the cab? Because you're in the cab for hours on end. I know you've got radio playing, you've probably got CB or the walkie-talkies, you're talking with folks, but what's going through your mind? Is it a moment of zen for you, kind of like a in the shower moment where you can just have crystal clear thoughts to yourself? I don't know. But again, I encourage you. I'm going to be working on this field, but I'm going to have chapter markers down below. If you want to jump around, you're welcome to it. I don't want to bore you, but I'd love for you to just, you know, stick around, listen to us chop this corn. I probably better not make another round here, so I just did kind of the headlands, or the headlands. I probably should turn this off, and we better go get the cart. So let's just give the Combine a little respite here. And again, I am going to use the teleport because I could run all the way back, but that would be extremely, extremely boring. Where is the cart? I've got the cart currently. That's the skid steer. There we go. And the 9630 with this big Demco. I said Brent. I was wrong. Got a Demco card here. And this is Lizard, the 9000 Colossus that I'm going to get rid of. I was using this originally in the cornfields, and it was great. Like, it's got a massive 1,000,000-liter hopper in it, and you can run 30 miles an hour, but not real. Not that I'm doing this for real either, but just try and make it more realistic. And if you're interested in playing Meadowlands, Wisconsin, the great news is you can. You've just got to make it yourself. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is no man's land. So this is a all-platform map that you can run on console, on PC. We've just turned it into my vision, right or wrong, of an area in Wisconsin. You know, I have been asked, hey, can I get a save game of that? Can I get the save game file? And I'll be honest, I don't know what is all required to share game saves. If, you know, you've got to send the entire, like, mod folder along with it, that would be gigabytes of data. Or if you can just send along the game save. And then is it even like an accepted custom to do that? Because this isn't my map. This is Alien Jim's map that I just kind of made my own. So is it even acceptable to send that out to other folks to play on? I don't know. Lots of questions. I'm leaving it right now with I'm open to it, but I need to research more. Because the last thing I want to do is cause any issues. Again, we're playing this for fun. This is a fun game. I also don't want to have it where, like, it's impossible to get if you've got to have all the mods with it. I don't know. I am not a modder. Like, I really kudos to the men and women that do mod the game and create mods. I just don't have that ability. My mind doesn't think that way. I guess I'm more creative, like, on the creative side, videos and stories, which I like. So that's okay. But if you have mod questions, I can tell you what I've got. I'm more than happy to share where I found them at. But as far as, like, changing them or updating them or modding them or releasing mods, I am not your person for that. Alright, first dump of this field. Let me find where the rows are, and we'll try to cut on the rows. I think that is the I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's farm sim, but we'll try and do this as realistic as possible. Let me come down here. There we go. We'll cut on this. On this angle. $10 miles an hour on the 9250 with the case corn head on the front. I think what I might do, you know, we've got a decent amount of money in the bank. We're going to be selling corn here very, very soon. We've got actually need to take our milk in because I make a run to the co-op every other day or so to sell milk. We need to do that today. I think I'll sell that Colossus. I don't know what it's worth. I paid way too much for it, probably. But I think we'll sell that. This 9250, I mean, this is the top of the line machine from Case. So you're not getting any better than this with a base machine currently, at least current. We've got LSWs on here. It's a 4-wheel assist machine. It's got one of the biggest hopper tanks you can get in the game. So I think I'll keep this. I'll get rid of Colossus, and I might pick up, just look around in the marketplace or whatnot for maybe an older Case machine. I'll make a mention. We are not, I guess, color specific in our family. So red or green or blue or yellow doesn't really matter as long as it gets the job done. I like a red or green machine, but if something comes up that is in the right price range, is a really nice machine, we'd certainly give it a shot. I might kick the speed up just a little bit. Again, what is, in your opinion, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. What is a happy medium between realism and just unrealistic? So I've seen, and I'll preface this by saying, again, you play the game however you want. I'm not trying to say, right or wrong. I just want your preference. I've seen folks play the game like this. So they run the combine, and we're doing 20 miles an hour through the field. That's the maximum this machine will go. They might have an unrealistic combine that goes 39. I've also seen where they've got like a header that is 4 times wider than this. I feel like this is just super unrealistic. The flip side of the coin, though, is you run it down here. So we take off real speed limit, and we got it down now to 6. This is this is probably 40 plus acres in this field at 6 miles an hour. I'm going to play the game and do it, but you all would be bored out of your damn minds. And I don't want that. So, where's the happy medium? Is it 10? Or is that still a little too slow? I don't know. Can I creep it up to like 11? 12? I don't know. Comment below. Let me know what you think. 14's feeling pretty good right now. Need the cart driver to run over those 2 I missed right there. So they're setting cruise control at like 13, 14, 15. It's not the maximum, it's not 30, but it is significantly faster than what you would do in a real field. Let's not run over the pine tree. One thing I do need to do is start calculating how much seed we're going to need for next year. When I started this series on YouTube, I really only had about half of the overall map in a form that we could plant seed on. And around that October time frame, I bought about 50,000 liters of seed. I feel like we're going to need at least double that. So I need to go in and look at seed prices and see where those are at. We're trying to stay realistic as well on our bank. I wish there was something in Farm Sim that you could like have a personal account and a farm account, like in your LLC. So what I'm doing it manually, and you saw in the app that I pulled up at the very beginning of the video, you could see our lines of credit, you could see our bank accounts. I want some transparency here. I'm letting the game go ahead and calculate the nightly and the monthly expenditures. So, with every piece of equipment that you buy in Farm Sim, you have an operating cost, and that comes out automatically. What I'm doing is taking it a little extra step manually, and that is I'm taking out insurance. I'm paying Meg and I our own salary. So I've got a separate bank account from myself, Meg, and the farm. Then I'm doing like an IRA. So just adding a few points of realism in the game to have some fun with it. It'd be kind of cool to have that as a real mod. I don't even know if it's possible. But we need to check that as well. The IRA, I haven't really looked. We're following just the S&P 500, so the SPY. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take my financial advice. I'm just doing this for the game, putting in a set amount of money as I'm paying myself and my wife in the game every month. We got to look out for the kids in the future. So I was able to add a few more shares of SPY. We'll see what we can do at the end of this month when we do pay ourselves. And Meg is she's asking me to start looking for a new car for her. She's currently rolling an '89 Suburban GMC. It's mint, but it's older and it's pretty down on power. It's completely stock. I'll have to show it to you sometime. And I saw a modder on, I believe, Expendables Modding that is going to have a new Tahoe or Yukon available fairly soon, like a 2022, 2023 edition. Kind of excited for that. Meg was hinting she might want that, but gosh, cars are they're ridiculous right now. 100 grand for some of these big SUVs. How are you doing it? I would not be able to do it. Looking at some of the prices of diesel trucks, interest rates the way they are. I read somewhere in a magazine recently, or there was a newspaper, it might have been an online article, the number of $1,000 a month car payments has hit a new record. $1,000 a month for some folks. That was a house payment not long ago. But don't even get us started on house payments. It's ridiculous. So hard to live a life now because you're just being hit from all these different angles on costs. And cars are one of them. So I don't know if Meg will get her Christmas wish of a new car or not. We'll see. Again, a little bit of realism. If I've got the money in the account and we can do it, we will. But if not, we can't do it. And if you're still hanging around with us, I really, really appreciate it. If you've, for whatever reason, jumped to this particular time code on the video, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. on the Stover Farm channel. We're farming the entire map. We are in Meadowlands, Wisconsin. This is my brainchild of what I think Wisconsin would look like. But it is no man's land, and we are taking the entire map, all 2K by 2K, 2 by 2. That's what the base maps are. And we've turned it into a single farm with a divided highway basically running down the center. There is a dealership, we've got a coffee shop, we've got a gas station, and we have a grocery store, and that is it. Everything else are fields that we've got to make money on, and we've got to be profitable. We've got all our dairy cattle here, all our beef cattle. We're feeding them, making food for them. We're breeding them. We are not finishing them. So I will need to take a look at that here, as we start to get towards December, and see if there's any critters that I might want to sell off, just to, add a little bit of a cushion to the account. But this is really, really fun. A completely different way to play this game. Slowing down. I mentioned in a previous video that I got to a point with Farm Sim where I was getting bored. I was trying to do too much. This isn't a job. This is for fun, right? We're playing games for fun. But for me, adding the realism and making it feel kind of like it's a real farm, that increased the fun for me. I'm not worried about, finishing a field in one day. Like, candidly, we're probably not going to finish this field in this video. I'll get to a point up here in a minute where we might take a break and go sell some milk. But I am doing my best to slow it down in real time, have it difficult, have money at the hard setting, have fuel consumption high, and really just play the game like you're a real farmer. So I would appreciate it, love for you to stick around. You're always welcome to keep watching as I'm moving through these fields, or you can go down into the description and click on some of the chapter markers, and you can jump around if you'd like. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you could if you could subscribe. I know that is thrown around so much. Everyone that's in the YouTube community is begging for those, and there's a reason. It helps us get our videos out to other people that might not see them. YouTube loves it when you give a like, or you comment, or you subscribe. It helps us. Look for some of the smaller creators out there and give them your support if you like their content. It'd be really, really helpful, and I appreciate it, and thank you so much. I've mentioned it in the past. As a YouTube creator or a creator on any platform, we cannot do it without you. Our successes are only from your time, your viewership. So I greatly appreciate it. And it's funny, I said I wasn't going to run 20, and I just looked down, and I hadn't set cruise control, and my speed had creeped all the way up to 17. What I think I'll do on this, I want to get the cart filled, get it back to the dryer. I've got to actually think of a way to get it from the cart to the dryer, because there's no way the cart is fitting in. I'm probably going to have to pull the cart up next to the truck, dump to the truck, and the truck can dump into the pit and go into the dryer. That'll be a decent amount, probably 2,000 liters that we can, or 2,000 bushels that we can get into the dryer. And then I'd like to go around and consolidate our milk, see what our milk supplies are, hop in the milk tanker, and actually have our bank account go up a little bit. We'll go over to the co-op and we'll sell some milk. And we might stop by the newly commissioned dealership. Thanks to the viewers who voted. MB Dyson is the name of the dealership. MB Dyson was voted on, and MB Dyson is an homage to Miles Bennett Dyson, the director of special projects for Cyberdyne Systems in the amazing movie Terminator 2. Miles Bennett Dyson selflessly gave his life to save humanity from Judgment Day. What a cool name. So the dealership shall now be called MB Dyson Machinery. So we might stop by MB Dyson. I just filled up the tank and didn't even realize it. Just see what they've got. Maybe ask what our Colossus is worth. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll take a look at the bank account, see how things are going. Maybe check on the SPY, see if we've made any money there. I don't think we have, but it's, you know, worth looking. The unload time for this is far more realistic, too. The Colossus was like, you hit the auger out, you hit unload, and it was done. Not very realistic. There we go. Let's fold the auger in. I might take the machine and just park it over here in the shade. Pretty decent chunk of that field we've got so far. Park it right over here. Lower the header. The head. There we go. Nice. And we're always going to save. Always, always save. So let's take a look at this field. How are we doing right here? So there's what we just cut. So everything in I guess it's light purple that has been harvested. Everything in orange still needs to be harvested. So we're a little over a third of the way done. And then we've got this field up here I need to cut as well. And again, that's something we're not going to be able to do just in one day, but with one person doing this. Say hi to the animals here real quick. Hey, guys, how are you? Good morning. I don't think they care. She's got her butt turned to me. So yeah, that worked pretty well. Almost 2,000 bushels in the cart. Can I take you this way? Yeah, I can take you this way. I think it'll work. So, instead of going the way we came, we'll go this way. Run around by the animals here. We can see how they're doing. Run into the fence, so that would be, a little bit of damage there. Fortunately, in Farm Sim, you can't damage your fences. Although that would be kind of cool, though. Damage, that would be interesting. So I've thought about that. I don't even know if it's possible with the physics engine that's in here, but damage. So, like, if you hit a barn and you rip the side off, you run over a fence, you knock the fence down. That would be interesting. Again, have no clue if it's possible. But we'll just run along through here. So this is the monoslope. This is where I've got most of the dairy cattle in there. We've, I think, figured out the manure problem that I had. Wow, this is kind of steep. So we don't have to actually run a big wheel loader in there anymore. That's good. Animals are doing fine there. I should probably check and see if we've got milk down here that I need to pump out. While we drive by, I'll check this out real fast. Because that will determine if I need to bring the... we have... Can I see this? Yeah, so we've got... oh my gosh, yeah, we've got 46,000 liters of milk. So we're going to need to bring a tanker down here. This is a heavy cart. Glad I put a little concrete there. I don't think we would make it up that hill if I didn't. You can kind of see off in the distance there to the left. I've got the 8370 with the Disker on it, and we've been just doing some soft cultivation out there, some light tillage. But I've got, you can see where I've done circles. That's where those tile inlets are. I might run you over there, walk you over there once we pull out from the from dumping this. What am I going to do here? So let's pull up here. I'm going to go ahead and throw the arm out. Let me jump out of this. And I will run over here to the peat. I just left it parked underneath the, or by the dryer. We've got this really nice kind of awning covering that, you know, if it's raining outside or whatnot, works pretty well. Now, this is where I do have a slightly unrealistic capacity in this truck. So you're going to see that as I fill this up... I wasn't even close. Hold on. It has a fairly beefy capacity to it, unrealistic. Alrighty, there we go. So 1,960 bushels in the truck. Quickly drive it over to the pit. And I'll tell you what, the auger system up here has been working great. We had a fire a few months back. There's a video on it. You can see down in our playlist. Had to replace that a three-phase motor. That was scary, but it is functioning really, really, really well. I did get the old motor rebuilt. I just haven't received it back yet. Might be something that MB Dyson can do in the future. So more corn going in the pit, getting our numbers up. We're over 120,000 liters. 180,000's been dried. We've got a 1.5 million capacity. I'm not too worried there. Let's dump the front. There you go. And I think I'm just going to leave this here. Again, I'd like to just park the truck under here in case it rains. We might cover up the tarp. Just let the dryer do its thing. Once we've done all that, save. Time to save. Always save. There was a save game mod that was out there, like an autosave. I had some bugs with it. Noticed it really hindered my frames per second right when it was going to activate. I think there's a way to keybind an autosave or a save to the keyboard. I just haven't figured it out yet. I haven't found it in like my keybinding settings. So for whatever reason, I just exit to the menu and I've got the autosave interval set to 5 minutes, and if it hasn't saved, it saves. So it's kind of like an autosave, but you got to exit to the menu. And maybe I'll figure it out someday. I'm just going to leave this here. Again, we'll put the tarp on that. And let's jump into... Do I have a truck connected to it? I do. I've got the F-350 brick nose. Is that a brick? I guess it is kind of a brick nose. This is our milk tanker, milk truck setup. Nice stainless steel trailer. Let's go and collect that milk down in the monoslope. This is where I always, end up running over fences and get trailers stuck all the time. I'm probably going to have to get this down here and turn it around some way. Because I don't know if I have to back all the way in there or not. I might have to. So let me... Gosh, stupid trees in the way. Sorry to make you sick there. Let's see if I can turn around. This is the challenge with Farm Sim. You know, you build a map, you make a custom thing, and yeah, I think the fun is polishing it and making it better as you run into conflicts. So that worked okay. We'll see if it actually goes to the super hard on the axles here, going up this hill, but let's back up and see if I can hit the trigger. Yes, it worked. I almost took it down by hitting that post, but that's okay. So 45,000 liters in here. We've got $663,983 in the bank right now. That's, again, the farm account. So that is the Stover Farms LLC. Really in very happy shape. We've got, most of our diesel is still here. We don't need to buy diesel. Insurance has been paid for the month. We have, already paid Meg and I. So most of all of our expenses have already been taken care of for the month. Maybe you could see that number actually go to the positive side instead of constantly going down. And yes, I have an unrealistic capacity for this as well. I am not intelligent enough to do the conversion in my head. We had 45,000 liters. Okay, well there, I just had to walk up to it, so we're almost empty. Okay, we need to probably do a slurry pump here at some point. We're in the fall. I got a vendor that I'll probably come in to do that, and they'll take it and, I don't know, they might truck it to Milwaukee or something like that. So I'm kind of excited. We're going to see how much I've got in storage here. So we've got this little extension where I'm usually able to just bring up here and, you know, periodically, daily, as we're running the cows through their normal routine, um, transfer milk over to the storage facility. It's got all the appropriate chillers and coolant and cleaning and, you know, all that. But this will be the first time we're actually taking capacity, putting it in the trailer and taking it to the dealer, or not to the dealer, that's the wrong thing. We're taking it to the co-op to sell. And we've actually got some eggs there. Those guys are doing good. How's their food? They're fine on food. We'll need to take those too as well once we get a full pallet. And I should probably go in and look and see how much we have. There's some feed. Wrong door. Hold on. This is a great barn, by the way. This is the white barn pack. So many little different rooms. It's so cool. I need to see how much milk is actually in here, but I can't because there's a special way you have to do it. You got to come up here. So we'll come up here to the top, and then you walk over here to this little corner. This is where you start to see. We've got 33,000 liters of milk in here, too, so we need to pump from here. This is going to be one heck of a payday. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, did I hurt myself by... No, I don't think I did. I fenced this in right here. And I didn't know if the trigger to pick up milk was in here, but it's right there. So we should be in good shape. We are transferred over there. We now have... Oh my gosh, we've got 27,000... Oh, we're going to... This is going to be a bank. We're going to make bank on this. I guess I haven't done this for a while. Back up here. Not take out that fence. See if I can get all this capacity in here. And then we're going to head to town. Go right by MB Dyson. Head over to the co-op. Dump this off. We'll see how much money we bring into the bank account. Okay, so almost filled that unrealistic trailer up. 36,000 gallons of milk. Woof. Okay. Since that took a little bit of time, I don't trust it. I want to hit save. There we go. And this field to the left is what I was talking about, where we were putting in a tile. I'll show you those tiles when I pull up here. To our right, I did get the swather back. That was a $15,000 repair at the dealership. We broke it a few months ago. We had a W235 John Deere as a loaner. But we got our swather back. I'm actually happy we didn't try and trade or do anything like that. That Challenger is a really nice machine, especially with the conditioner properly working on it. So we've just been kind of round baling some of the last bits of grass before snow starts to fall. I don't know when we'll see our first snow. It's November 3rd. But here, let me hop out. We'll just stop here. This is our driveway into the farm. We'll hop the fence, and I'll run over here and I'll show you. I probably stopped right in between them. But yeah, okay, so here's a tile inlet over here. So the tile running through this field is an inlet here. I believe I've got another one up here. And it all kind of funnels down because this is where, you know, you get pounded by rain and wind, you get erosion. So we want to properly collect that water, and we want to then funnel it down. We've got the river right here, the little stream. And I've got a tile collector down here somewhere. You jump out, right there. So, you know, everything comes out, comes into the stream. And then further downstream, there's just a little pond where that's captured, and we can, you know, pull water from it if we need to feed or to give to the animals. And then I've got the 8 series here with the shallow disker on it, or the disker. So in farm sim terms, this is a shallow field cultivator. It's a case, I know, on an 8370. But this is the most realistic way I could figure it to work, where it's actually doing shallow cultivation. All of the other diskers said they were shallow cultivators, but they were actually doing like seed beds, and it didn't look right. So, you know, we want to keep a little bit of that plant material on the ground over winter, again, for erosion. So we're just running through here, kind of getting those stalks cut up. Got some weeds there as well. Just, you know, that organic matter we'll leave it on the ground and should be good. But we've been working on that. And this, again, this is what I was talking about. How slowing down and farming more of the map in a more realistic way, it takes so much more time. You know, you're not playing a 1-day month and your speed is set to 5 or 10x. I'm playing 7-day months and my speed is set to 1x, which forces you to slow down. You know, the 1 or 2 hours you're able to play here and there. Again, I'm not playing the game every day. It'd be awesome to do that. But I do work. So, you know, in the evenings when I'm playing or wanting to record a video, I get a lot of stuff done on the farm, but still there's so much to do when you have so much land to farm. So we'll come up here. This is US 32. This cuts right through our property. This was originally, I think, by the county. They envisioned this as, you know, like its own little metropolis, and there'd be businesses and everything all across. Here, we really just have MB Dyson, a coffee shop, a bank, a coffee shop, a gas station, the co-op, and the grocery store, which is fine by me. I don't want a ton of, like, strip malls around here. This is our little area of paradise. And we'll pull in here. The garden shop owns all of these silos. Again, we sell directly to them. Just pull around. You can dump grain here. You can dump really everything. This is a sell-all bin. That just works really well. You don't have to have a ton of stuff on the map, like, spread out, so I don't have to have a dairy. I don't have to have, you know, other sell points. Again, we just got the one co-op. They take everything from us. So that is being sold. We're dumping 30,000 gallons of milk. And I guess we just watched our bank account go up. It's pretty awesome. You can buy stuff here from the co-op as well. So, like, we get our lime shipments, we get our seed shipments, all of our herbicides and fertilizers come in through here. I have not placed an order in a while, so really nothing super exciting to show in here, but we can call them up and they'll get it delivered for us. I also get my propane here as well. Oh wow, look at that. 90 grand in milk. That was awesome. $90,620. Pretty decent. Pretty decent haul there. You can see I get my propane from here as well. We bought that right before harvest. So we are in good shape. But we'll certainly be coming back to place an order soon for more seed. Let's head over to MB Dyson and just kind of talk shop a little bit. I'd love to see if anyone is around that could potentially give me some numbers on what Colossus is worth. Don't want to take up their parking spaces, so we'll just park right out here. Love this dealership. This is a we did a video on building it. It's a custom dealership combination of the large workshop hall and then this really cool like old factory warehouse. And we've also got a wash bay on the back. But the way they connect together, you can have your whoops, fell down in the pit. You can have a showroom over here. And I don't keep the so I had like John Deere tractors all in through here. I didn't keep them in here because I found that if you have just way too much equipment on a map, it really can start to hinder your performance. But if you roleplay something and want to bring more in here, you can. But it fit in here perfectly, just connecting them up. It'd be kind of cool if I could get the bricks to match the gray that is new and the red brick that's old. But it's still pretty cool. Hey, good morning. I guess it is still morning. How's everybody doing? Good to see you guys. Yeah, I know. We got you named over to MB Dyson. That's great. I know. Prairie State was here for a while. A great company. But, you know, this will be a great opportunity, a great partnership for us as well. Yeah, so here's my thing. We're using the 9250, and we can take a look and see what I've got and what the value of it is. So let me come down here into my own, so you can see there's Colossus. That actually, Reaper is going back. So you guys are taking Reaper back. Colossus is what I've got, this lizard. You know, it's saying it's worth about $233,000. We used it for, you know, maybe half a season. Where are you? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 233,000. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, why in the case? I forgot the case in these games. Like the 9250 brand new is $600,000. It's crazy. But yeah, I'd love to talk maybe once we get through harvest, potentially selling this back to you. I know we're going to take a hit, but I'd love to find, you know, I can't afford another 9250, and I don't need it because I've just got to farm, or I say harvest that small little contoured land up by the house. And I'm thinking maybe you know, I don't know if there's anything used currently. 6620, that's probably a little too old and a little too small for us. But if you do happen to come by, you know, maybe something like the 16, like an older case, axial flow machine, I would love that. Yeah, even something I might need to put a little work into. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Now, I search Auto Trader or Facebook Marketplace all the time, and all of the auction sites. You know, I would love, yeah, something like a 1600 or a 2100. So, you know, probably aren't going to go like for like, you know, and I might not get all 233 out of the Colossus, but again, let's just keep your eye out for something like this. And then just realize that I'd like to bring Colossus in maybe December, and we'll do a deal. Okay? Appreciate it. Everything else going okay? Awesome. Well, have a great day. Okay, we'll see you later. Just great guys there. Really great salesmen and women at this dealership. What do they got over here? It's like they're working on something. And again, they don't care what color your equipment is. They'll They will buy, sell, and service it all. 8760. Love these old four-wheel drive articulated John Deeres. Very, very cool. I do not mind older equipment. In fact, I'll be candid, I kind of like it because you're not running DEF. You've got far less to go wrong on them, and I can actually still work on them. Trying to open up a new system or a new tractor and work on it without a computer, laptop, or whatever. Yep, I told you Reaper was going back. It's still over here. I dropped it off. Literally took it right off the field, dropped it off over here with the head. They just haven't credited our account, so they'll get that taken care of. We still have it on our books. What was I saying? New versus old gear. I like old equipment. I really do. There's something kind of charming about it. You can work on it. You got a wrench, a spanner, or a hammer. You can open them up. You can work on them. You can buy parts for them. And they're fun to learn. And you can teach your son or daughter how to work on equipment as well. Alrighty, we'll pull across US 32. Head back over to the farm. I'd say this is a pretty great start to the day. $90,000 in milk. That was great. Still got half of that corn to cut back over near the plains on the west side of the farm. Definitely need to pick up some of these bales. I've got round bales here, and I've got some square bales out in the plains area where we were cutting wheat. I know I need to. So this is what we're talking about, erosion. This water just comes through here. It erodes the road. Maybe with this tileage going in, or tile going in on this field, this might help. And I might be able to bring some rock or dirt back in here, level this out, and actually not have these bumps. You hit these bumps at, every now and again I like to lay the hammer down. You hit them about 50, 60 miles an hour, you're going airborne. It's crazy. Well, I really appreciate you coming along for the ride. We're going to keep doing this, keep recording these adventures on farming the entire map in Meadowlands. And I'll do some by myself, some will record, but you're going to definitely be along with us for the ride to see how this farm actually turns out. Before we go, let's pop up the bank account here real quick. Here's the app on my phone. Just kind of see how we're doing right now. We just got that $90,000 came in for all that milk. So fortunate for that. These animals are very healthy. They're going to continue to produce. And I'm probably going to go out and start cutting the rest of that corn, get it in the dryer. We've still got grain to sell. So this could be a very profitable fall. And our yields were terrible, so it can only get better as I get a little more knowledgeable on making this farm work. So thank you so much for being with us. Please, if you could, I'd love if you'd like and subscribe. Look for new episodes as we continue farming the entire map right here in Meadowlands, Wisconsin. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time right here on the farm with the Stovers.